Hello and welcome to Opportunities Overseas, United Kingdom, a country that's considered as one of the most important world trading hubs. So where do the opportunities lie now in these times of a global economic crisis? Let's find out. Britain has also been a popular destination for Indians seeking overseas employment. But with the global economic crisis, will this job market dry up for Indians?
I think it's a very important question given the kind of crisis which is taking place, and with IMF also coming out with the figures that the job market, the unemployment will be the most hit and can create chaos in different countries. Within India and UK in specific, I think there are a large number of opportunities coming with the visit of the Prime Minister recently. The kind of investment the UK is wanting to make to the tune of about £565 million, both in terms of health, education and research, I think that is going to be spent in the next 3 years within the country in terms of creating human capital and better services. I think that is something very specific. In education itself, out of this 856, they're going to spend about £500 million, which will be for developing schools and teachers. About 300,000 people and 300,000 schools, classrooms are expected to be created. 4 million students are wanting to be trained. We're looking at 50% of them being girls. Now these are some figures which we're looking at training. Now we need people to do that job. So we're going to have jobs markets go up. Be it for a Indian citizen working in India, working for a British organization, or be it Indians going to UK in specific and working. I think they are going to wake up. Secondly, I think in medical services, UK has, fortunately, if you look at the proportion of doctors and medical staff within UK, you will find Indians are on the top of the charts. And even today, given their requirements, the Indian level is still going up. So I see in terms of interlocking between UK and India in specific, there are tremendous opportunities in job sphere itself.
What about the IT sector, which traditionally has been a destination for Indians overseas? So jobs overseas in the IT sector seem to be reducing. Is that a fact?
Jobs in the IT sector in specific had actually gone down because of outsourcing businesses moving down typically to a very specific few developing regions of the world, which included India as well. But given the focus of countries wanting to prosper and the visit of the Prime Minister going down south to Bangalore to meet with Infosys chairman and the others, clearly shows that he is wanting to bring in more job opportunities to be opened up within the UK for their own people. And I think if Indian organizations are going to be invited to be opening up their shops in UK, we're going to look at again employment there from their own country as well as for Indians. Because in India, which I have seen in the last 20 years in specific, whenever an Indian organization opens an office overseas, except for a very few people who are strategic people, most of the people are local people which they hire. So from that perspective, there is a growth trend which I think is very much evident, and I think that will clearly bring in the IT sphere. And fortunately, India is still strong given its own domestic requirements and the requirements it services worldwide.
When you look at trends in trade and investment, what do you see today between India and the UK? Where are the opportunities?
Yes, it's a very interesting scenario. We have actually been stable around $11 billion for the last 3 years in terms of total trade taking place. We have been a negative balance of trade country so far as trade with UK in specific. But for the last year figures, we have had a surplus. We have been positive trade balance of trade. The Prime Ministers of both the countries have clearly outlined that they like to double the value from 12 billion to about 24 billion in the next 5 years. I believe that given the potential of the two countries, the kind of activities they are entering into, be it education, be it signing the nuclear treaty, to buy nuclear material, information, research, and so on and so forth, I think the opportunity for the trade itself is anywhere about $50 to $60 billion within the next 5 years, which I perceive is expected to take place.
The UK has been very strong in the services sector in the past. How do you see a partnership develop between India and the UK to further promote the services sector?
I'm happy you asked this because services has grown up. In US and UK in specific have been almost to the tune of about 70% of contribution of the GDP comes from the services sector. UK has specialized in certain services, which is one is hospitality, the other is infrastructure development, gas, natural gas, petroleum and other products. And then they have the automobiles also, which Tata is now one of the owners of one of their branded vehicles, the Jaguar. Then also the banking services. I think these are some of the services area which UK specializes in, has a good hold on. And I think India, as an emerging economy, with the middle class being one of the richest classes in the country today, flush with funds, and their requirements still need to be fulfilled, I think UK, with banking services, with education services, with other health facilities which they're trying to focus on, I think should be able to, not only benefit, but also make India benefit and uplift its standards of living.
How should one plan to tap into these veins of business that you talk about? What is your advice?
It's a very difficult question because every country is quite different. However, I think given the globalization which has taken place, it is a competitive world and countries are now competing. The global financial crisis have left large number of developed world at a vulnerable state. So now there is a big competition within the developed world. Who can catch the investment which is coming from the developing region like India and other countries like India into their own world? 10 years back, when the Global Financial Stability Report came from the IMF, it clearly pointed out that the capital flow has reversed. It's no longer developed countries investing in developing countries. It is now developing countries investing in developed countries, which is already taking place for the last 10 years, a decade or so now. So given that and given the crisis, now it's a run. Who can sell the assets? Because investment is limited, especially for developing regions. Now, where would this investment go? Would it go to Dubai? Would it go to the US? Would it go to South Africa? Would it go to Switzerland? Would it go to France, Germany, or UK? Or the other side in Asia, in Japan? Which place would this investment go? Now, so it's a competition now within the developed world to see how can they go about facilitating and getting more businesses and investment into their countries, which has dried down in the last 1.5 years of this global financial crisis.
While the world may be seeking investment, technology-related businesses are said to be the most important drivers of the post-crisis economy. That's all we have for you in this episode. But as always, we suggest you travel to the country to find the opportunities most suited for you. Until next time, goodbye.